everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Kat, known as phamerina.planning here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today's video is a plan with me for the week of the 27th of January through February 2nd using this snake year decorative kit from Starlight Paper Studio. So if you watch the kit lineup, I had a different kit in place, but I was kind of bummed about not having a Lunar New Year kit. So when Sita announced that she was releasing this kit um, for the Lunar New Year, of course I had to do a switch up because how could I not? This is very specific to the Lunar New Year, specifically the year of the snake, which was the year of 2025. I also pulled in the Lunar New Year like foil deco from Sticker Guru, which is on like the clear paper, I believe that's what it is. And then if you've noticed, the decorative kit doesn't have any of like the standard weekly kit things that we're used to seeing, like the bottom washies or boxes. So I had to get a little bit creative with how to accomplish those things. So I went into my extensive washi hoard and into my sticker collection to find things that would supplement my planner. And foil color wise, of course, we had to do gold. And then since the Sticker Guru sticker foil was also in red, I was like, just pull it in and we'll have a little mixed metal moment. It's already kind of mixed metally anyway because shops, it's funny because Christine was just talking about this in her plan with me's. One would have thought by now we would have at least, if shops were doing like a gold that's a more regular gold, they would like make that known that it was a more of a regular gold than a light gold. Or maybe we are just not we, but like I understand that they have different moods. Like to me, regular gold works for summer. Light gold is my preference, but regular gold kind of hits better in the summer. So this is like mixed metals in like a million different ways. So so that was that spiel, washi, all this other stuff. So the Lunar New Year is a very important holiday in most Asian countries. I am of Vietnamese descent, so we call it Tet. Um, so the Lunar New Year this year fell on, oh my goodness, I should know this off. I think it was the 29th. Ooh, let me check my notes. Yes, it was the 29th. So it symbolizes quite a few things. The Lunar New Year, it's part of like the it's not like the spring, but it's a huge brain reset, please. Thank you. So the Lunar New Year is just really important because it's about families. I mean, if you haven't heard, the story is about like one of the emperors. They had a race and a bunch of animals entered, and then the first 12 were picked. So this year was the year of the snake. Sorry, let me pull this up so I don't give you incorrect informationes. So yeah, so all the creatures on the earth were summoned to participate. This is from ChinaLights.com, so take that with that knowledge. To participate in a race when the Jade Emperor wanted to select 12 animals to be his guards. So the 12 animals actually kind of differ between different cultures. I know very distinctly that the cat is part of the Vietnamese zodiac, but the cat is not part of the Chinese zodiac. So the Chinese zodiac is rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. But the Vietnamese zodiac is rat, buffalo, tiger, cat, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. So pig, boar, or not, was it pig, boar? No, buffalo, ox, like semantics at this point. Um, but yeah, there's like the story about the cat and how the cat got on a back. It's just this whole thing. So um, this year was the year of the snake, and the snake. It's really funny because my family was like, we don't really do snakes, because snakes are kind of seen. I mean, we see this in Western cultures too. Snakes are seen as like conniving, deceptive. There's a whole, snake in the garden with Eve. Um, so snakes have a very negative connotation, um, but it's all about like perception, right? Snakes. So if you say cunning and um, conniving, well, you could, another word for cunning is like intelligent, right? Cunning, intelligent, like those two words have different flavors. So I don't even, how did I get how did I get here? Sorry, tangent. So first I was talking about shops and the gold. I'm sorry how chaotic this is. Shops, gold foil, sneak. Okay, Lunar New Year. Sorry, that's that. Um, and how important it was. And then I started going on the history. Sorry, this is really chaotic, and this is a really long voiceover, which I'm aware of. But snakes, while they have like the negative connotations that a lot of people associate with the snake, um, snakes are, smart, resourceful creatures, and that's how I view them. They're, according to, again, chinahighlights.com, the snake's personalities that a lot of people associate with them are enigmatic, intelligent, and wise. um I mean, say what you will about horoscopes and personality tests and whatnot, regardless of whether you hold stake in them or think they're a bunch of baloney, it's just like fun to think about these type of things. So, like, let's not yuck somebody else's yum about all of this, but um like the Lunar New Year is really important. This is where I started. It's a time for families to get together. It's, it's not like the equivalent of the like westernized New Year, because there's a little bit more about like traditions in it. Um so if you were born in 2025 plus or minus 12 years, and go back, you are the year of the snake. um, which I find snakes to be very fascinating creatures. So let me get off of this whole other, sorry, this other tangent. Let me talk about what's going on. I've talked through my sidebar already. Um, but my sidebar, I knew I wanted to pull in the one fashion person. My plan was actually to pull in both of them, but it didn't work out in the end because the other girl was, that was facing the opposite direction, was like really big. So I should have thought about that beforehand. But for this spread, um, I made use of T's freebie from Starlight Paper Studio. She was plenty of planning, but now she is Comfy T. She's also on Sita's PR team, just because that freebie complemented this kit so well. I pulled in a bunch of the floral pieces, which is like this kit, like this style is very different to a weekly kit. Obviously, the deco is much bigger. It wasn't necessarily created with a weekly spread in mind, but we made it work. So this spread is going to look very different compared to other spreads that I've used or I've created. For my date cover area, I just pulled in one of those date cover taco thingies from Handbird Design. It's like a spring floral one, but I think it went well with this kit because this one has, there's a lot of florals in it. I made use of Shanice's freebie from Sadie Stickers. I don't know if it's her current freebie or not, but it had a lot of like dainty little floral elements. And then I didn't realize it at the time. It had the petals that I'm like really obsessed with. Um, because I wanted the petals to kind of stand in for like petal, like well, not necessarily sakura, but like just, petals falling down. I really wanted to have that movement in some of these scene elements. So there was a lot of creating compositions for smaller elements. What was really great about this kit, though, were like the large, anything large was very detailed, it's beautiful. All of this art is so beautiful. Um, so it put a lot of impact on the page without me having to do a whole lot of work, which was really nice. Like I could just add my little touches of foil here and there, like those little clouds. Love the clouds. They're great. Obsessed. Still in my cloud era. And here me, I'm adding those little touches of those petals here and there with some little dot clusters. And um, if I could give you any tips for using a decorative spread in a weekly kit format, which I don't know if shops are moving in this direction, but I know Saucy Stickers is kind of moving in this direction, or she's playing. She's putting her foot in the side of the pool for a little while. Is to really, I would say, if you're unsure of how something's going to look, play with it first. Don't press any stickers down. Don't apply any force, because that's what makes the adhesive stick to the page. If you have any of the clear backing washi paper, use the backing. It's amazing for testing out what you're possibly seeing in your head. And don't be afraid. This is something I had to learn. Don't be afraid to like really cover things up. I know that sounds like silly, but the whole kind of purpose of layering is to create depth. Um, so if you can see everything, then everything feels kind of flat. This might seem like a no duh thing, but it was something that I really learned through this spread specifically. Um, to have things that look like they're in the forefront, you have to cover things in the background. And that's like a thing that I was really grappling with, because I'm like, well, I want to see everything. Like for me, I want to see all of the detail that's in all of these stickers. Like people, you know, the shop owners layer things very intentionally on the stickers, or they chose each of these elements very specifically. So for me to cover it up kind of feels like wrong. Um, but it's all part of the process of creating depth, to create interesting moments. So yeah, that was that little spiel there. To pull in, if you look at the decorative kit, like the last page, I don't remember how many pages were in it, 9, something like that. The last page in the kit is the one that's very specific to the Lunar New Year 2025, because that has all of the snake elements in it. So I made sure to at least pull that in. I wasn't sure which snake I was going to use, the one on T's freebie or this one. Decided on this one, and leave it in the corner. So I was kind of trying to figure out how to make this page kind of flow well. And I knew in my head that I had to not worry about everything for the base, because when I go to the day by day, I'm going to be adding more elements to kind of make this flow a little bit better, right? This is only the base for me to put my plans on. So I won't be able to do everything that I'm picturing in my head at this point in time. Let me put a pin in that. I might not come back to that, who knows. To talk about this like food flat lay that we have going on here and how stunning it is. So when Sita announced this release, she was saying that this page in the decorative kit was inspired by her grandmother's love of food and how she showed her family love through food, through making food for her family, through mealtime. And I knew I wanted to pay homage to that legacy, because that's the same for my grandma. She's still around. I still have my grandma around. But she definitely shows her love through food, right? Every time we go over, do you want something to eat? Are you hungry? Please eat more. Here, take this stuff home with you. So like food is part of her love language, and I wanted to pay homage in that way to Sita's grandmother, and who, I've never met Sita or her grandmother, um, but to pay homage to all of our grandmothers who love to cook and who feel that cooking is their way of showing, of ensuring that family sits together, eats meals together, um, and that. So I just wanted to point that out because I think that's such a beautiful way to honor somebody's legacy through what they love to do. Um, so yeah, that's a slight little tangent. I told you I wasn't going to remember what I said I was going to put a pin in, but yeah, I think we're almost done with the base. Yes, we're done with the base. So this one is going to be a little, I don't want to say chaotic, but this day by day laydown um is going to be a little crazy because I do continue to add more elements in from what I would consider the base here. And then, I had to think about boxes. I don't have boxes, so what am I gonna do? How am I gonna lay things down? So on Monday, let's actually get on to the day by day now. Monday we start with a coffee Monday. Then I had what, Five Guys. That must have been dinner. Five Guys must have been dinner. The day must have been pretty uneventful itself. Um, Five Guys for dinner, and then I got some Happy Mail from Starlight Paper Studio. Was it this kit? No, it wasn't this kit. Ooh, sorry. It was probably Snowfall. Because I think around this time was when this kit was announced. Around the Lunar New Year. I remember that specifically. And then since Bub was going to be away for a little while, he was gonna go to his grandma's for an extended period of time. So my husband, um, let me back up. I normally put Bub to sleep, but my husband wanted to spend a little bit more time with him, so I was like, okay, well, you can go ahead and put him to sleep. But Bub wasn't having it. He was like, Mama, he wanted Mom to put him to sleep, so we both put him to sleep that night. On Tuesday, oh, this was different work drama. There's been a lot of work drama. You'll hear about it later too, probably, maybe. I don't know. So, ooh, hold on, let me back up. So, part of my box problem was I didn't have, very many red boxes, which I felt like I needed for this kit. So to resolve my box problem is Blissful J Designs had a series of functional items in various different colorways. One of the colorways was berry, I believe. Berry and ocean were the two I used for this kit, which was great because these are the Medi boxes specifically, but she also has like the full ones and the labels. I don't know what they're all called, but I grabbed the Medis because those are the ones I would typically use. So those were a great addition. So work drama, mark that with a dumpster fire icon. It was bad enough that I had to go. We had drinks and bar food that night for dinner. I read and I finished a book. It was probably one of my paranormal romances. I don't remember which one off the top of my head. On Wednesday was the Lunar New Year, which I'll actually mark second. I'm gonna mark a Dr. Coffee run first. And then for the Lunar New Year, I decided, why not just tuck it into this large scene here? No need to like put it in a box. That was one of the other things I was kind of figuring out with this spread is when do I want like a box for a day by day item and when do I not want one? So having the scripts really helps with that. But it was a little bit of a struggle because I don't know. I feel like I still lean into my boxes for my day by day stuff. But then I did three voiceovers that night. That was crazy of me. I usually try to do two of them at once and I get exhausted when I do two of them at once. So to do three, that was nuts. I must have been on a tight crunch. On not Wednesday. On Thursday, we start with a Dunkin' run. I went ahead with a Dunkin' run because I knew looking at our cells that this first batch was probably going to be terminated this day. And the first batch was terminated this day due to the cells not growing well. We think it was the media. Not entirely sure yet. We're gonna figure it out. And then let's see. And then Bub, yeah, see, I told you, Bub he was at his grandma's for an extended period of time, so he came home this day. Gotta share, I think I said in another video, you gotta share the Bub love. My family's obsessed with this kid. He is the firstborn. He's the first grandson, so that's why they're obsessed with him. That is why. On the 31st, I marked a rainy commute home. We raced around the house after dinner, and then this night, I don't even know. I'm local to Philly, so there was that plane crash. It probably made the news because this was the second plane crash in like a week. The plane crashed in Philly, which was really tragic because from what I gathered, this was a girl. I think it was a little girl, a young child, going to return home after receiving an emergency medical procedure, to save her life, and to think that a plane crash happened is really tragic. I don't know if I've yet to. I should check back on this story to see if they've figured out why or how that happened. But yeah, it was definitely the talk of the office the next day. On February, on Saturday was February 1st, which I mark hello February, except I didn't have a hello February, so I just put February. I'm just gonna write hi in. Then we had a little Starbucks run, and then I did dishes that day. On Sunday, I made breakfast for my family. I'm pulling in some more deco just to zhuzh it up, because we went into Philly for Lunar New Year celebrations. We watched the lion dance. I didn't realize how long the route was going to be because we were standing in one spot for a while because there's like this whole cabbage presentation. The firecrackers go off. Like all of the stores want the lions to dance in front of their stores so they get the blessing. So we didn't realize how long the route was going to be because we're like, okay, we'll watch the lion dance and then we'll get lunch. No, we should have got lunch first. Well, we did. After a certain point, we were like, let's just go get lunch and we'll find the lions later. So that was that. And then I finished the night with some planning time. Sorry if you heard that ding. My ribbon hit something. So this is the spread. I'm sorry for that really chaotic voiceover. I usually try to get these done in one shot because I get exhausted after talking for however long this is. But this is the spread. I really love how this turned out. This was a really fun experience using a decorative kit in place of a standard weekly. I will probably be doing more of these, especially with how extensive deco kits are getting, especially if shops like Saucy Stickers, Starlight's doing it now, Dash of Sun, Paper Trail Plants, if they offer kits a la carte and they offer like the boxes option, because that would be a great way to merge these two kits together. So that is the spread. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love it if you gave the video a little like, leave a comment with any of your thoughts down below. And I would be so happy if you joined my little channel by subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.